were also fairly unique in those days. Uplifting messages, practical messages about life, quality, and motivational messages. It was far more upbeat than a typical threat of damnation people heard.
Right. So, you don't want to hear the fire and brimstone about how the Most High is a terrible God to those that disobey him, right? You want to hear smooth words, right? You want to be comforted, You want to be made to feel good. And hey, the devil is right there ready to take your money and give you a good feeling, and you leave out of there with no knowledge. Ignorant as all hell. Okay? Read on.
People ate it up. This was the first time that Americans truly got to see something that was more about building a show than it was fire and brimstone. Devoted parishioners poured in donations, all to help spread the word.
Yeah, that's what's wrong with our people now. That's why they give you sports and entertainment, right? Because you're not interested in the truth. You just want a feel-good moment. You want entertainment. You want to be made to laugh. You want to be made to be emotional, get your emotions involved. You don't want your brain involved, right? Go ahead.
Churches like Schuler's and the Angelus Temple both quickly gained a reputation. They were bold, popular, community-oriented, and oddly gaudy in their own right. And for the pastors, they were surprisingly profitable. And thus, the concept of an American megachurch was born.
Right. So give me Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1.
I got a precept.
Okay,
I
beautiful.
don't know you had it.
Bring it up. We can hear it more than once.
Okay, yeah, you do have it. But
I almost thought about moving it up. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Isaiah 30 and 10.
Go on.
Which say to the seers, see not.
Right.
And to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things.
Right.
Prophesy deceits.
Yeah. Our people want to be lied to.
Right.
When you start reading the Bible verbatim and breaking that down, nobody wants to hear it.
Right. Nope.
They're like, well, tell me how you feel. Or, they only want to hear what they've been indoctrinated to know. That's what they want to emphasize that. They don't want to learn anything. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to be woken up to the truth. Okay?
Yeah, and a lot too, man. Our people full of shit, man. Because I'm tell you straight. Because they always say, "What's in your heart? Tell them what's in your heart."
Right.
Well, your heart can change.
Right.
See, they don't want to follow the strict rules of the Most High. Most High don't change.
That's it.
It stays the same. But they want to bend the rules of the Most High. So what's in your heart? Well, one day you can feel one thing, and 2 weeks later you can feel another thing. So how do you go by your heart, man?
I'm going to bring a precept about that right there. Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked.
Right.
Who can know it? Right. So you can keep what's in your heart to yourself. When you come up to the Israelites, we want to know what's in the Bible.
Right.
And what's in your mind. Do you understand what the word is telling you? Okay?
That's right.
Your heart is wicked, so we don't want to, your heart changes from minute to minute, okay? So, yeah, exactly. So let's read on the article.
You in Isaiah 30 and 1?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Isaiah 30 and 1. Woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
Right. So, you don't want to follow the Most High and do what he says. You just want to do what feels good, You want to you want a good feeling, but you don't want to feel good according to the scriptures, right? Because the scriptures, if you're a practicing Israelite, the scriptures make you feel good. You know what I'm saying? They give you hope. They make me smile. They make me laugh, right? And they give me some encouragement. You know what I'm saying? But when a so-called Christian hears these words, they get all befuddled and confounded, and they get frustrated. Yeah, because what you've been taught is lies, okay? It don't jive with the Bible,
Right.
as they say, right? So let's read on.
American megachurches are businesses. In the United States, churches aren't taxed. They're considered to be nonprofit organizations. Despite this, most megachurches are run like businesses. Pastors make a serious salary from their church, often buy private jets to help save souls and even get $1,000 suits.
Right. To save souls, right? That's in quotations because they're not saving no souls. They're just keeping up with the status quo, right? Well, Creflo Dollar, he's got a jet, so I want a jet. You know? Kenneth Copeland, he's got a jet, so I want a jet. You know, you ain't saving no soul. When have you seen one of these extravagant so-called pastors, right, getting off of one of their jets going to preach the word to somebody? There's no video footage of that, right? Because when they get off a jet, they probably get ready to go do something wicked, okay? I mean, what they doing in their churches is wicked from the get-go because they not teaching the truth, right? Terrible. They're in it to win it. That's it. And when we say win it, they talking about winning money and fame and popularity, not winning souls, right? Not winning an understanding of the scriptures and understanding of the Most High, what He wants, right? And trying to please Him. You know, it's crazy. So let's read on.
Protestant churches in the U.S. collect approximately $39.9 billion in revenue annually.
And I want you to understand, when it says Protestant churches, that's the so-called black Christian church. It's all the churches, right? Possibly it's technically it wouldn't be the Catholic Church because it still include the Apocrypha in their text, even though they don't believe it or read it or teach it. But if you have 66 books in your Bible, if this is all you read of a Bible, which we know you don't really read it, if you carry around only this, you're a Protestant, right? Because Martin Luther's the one, he protested against the teachings that was in the Apocrypha, right? And he took that out. And now that's what you have, right? And you think you have the full understanding, but you don't even have the full Bible, right? So, if your Bible has 66 books in it, you're a Protestant, okay? So you're just lost in the sauce, okay? Now, one thing y'all are great at is fundraising, okay? But then what happens with these funds? They get squandered. And they also fund wickedness, pedophilia, murder, destruction, right? Theft. That's what's happening when these wicked so-called leaders get all this money coming in. Next thing you know, like, for example, Joyce Meyer, right? Everybody knows who that is. Her head of security murdered his wife and children because he was sleeping with somebody in the church and he didn't want them to find out about it. That's what comes from all this revenue that's being brought in, okay? So that's why we say it's not about the money, okay? It's about the scriptures, right? Read that last part again and then read on it, if you would, brother.
Okay. Talking about the money?
Yeah.
Okay. This means Protestant churches in the U.S. collect approximately $39.9 billion in revenue annually.
Every year, $39 billion. And I think this article...
January.
Okay, so it is from this year, okay. But we already know that that's a generalization. It could be more, could be a little bit less. Right. Read on.
The donations expected of you are a price tag, though you're not supposed to say that part out loud.
Right.
For that money, you get to feel like your soul is saved.
Yeah, you got to try to ignore and don't mention the fact that there's an ATM in the front of your church. Okay. Go ahead.
You get to be part of a community and maybe get an invite to an event or two. As many people have seen online, if you don't donate money to said megachurch, you might end up getting publicly shamed for it.
That's right. Yeah, it's a popularity contest and it's a who's who. So you don't want to be on the list of people who's not giving, right? Because you're going to be looked down upon, right? Agree on.
Most megachurches have child care and preschool, often at a fee. They also have their own bookstores, food courts, and gift shops.
Don't forget coffee shops. Now that's a big business. Like these, it's called Manna Church. I know there's one in my town. There's one. I've seen them all around. Manna Church, and they have a thriving coffee shop, right? Bringing in a whole